Today, we're going to talk about how to respond to those nasty negative reviews that the occasional patient may post about you. So let's get into this. What do you do when a patient writes a negative review about you and your practice and maybe your staff? This can be offline, it can be online, and we're going to look at some of the tools to handle it when it happens. Now, negative feedback is kind of inevitable nowadays. We do make mistakes. The staff may make the occasional mistake. You may make the occasional mistake. Even the patient may make the occasional mistake and think you did one thing when you did something totally different. Doesn't matter. It causes upsets with the patient, and this is fairly common. So how do you deal with it? That's what's important. Now, nowadays we have Rate MDs, we have Google reviews, and many other ways of dissing you online. And we want to actually look at what's the perfect way to handle that without making the patient wrong. First of all, realize that the person is upset. That's the first thing you have to confront. It doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong or anything. The fact is that they're upset. One of our clients told me something very interesting that you should use when you're dealing with an upset patient. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that means that you should listen twice as much as you speak. That really applies when someone is upset. Listen genuinely. This is really, really important. Like, really be caring about it. So ask questions to actually understand what it is fully that they're upset about. Really, really acknowledge the person to let them know that you totally understand once you've heard it, all right? And thank them for sharing. Maybe they just wanted to be heard, who knows? But don't justify why the mistake happened. This is a big no-no. You can't say, well, it happened because blah, blah, blah. There is an exception, however. If you were running behind schedule and that's what they're upset about, factually, you ran behind schedule. Admit it and say, you know what? I apologize profusely for running behind schedule. I want to give you a little reality on what happened. Basically, we had a patient come in with an emergency, and it was really important to see them right away. And someday, quite honestly, you could be the person who comes in with an emergency, and we'll do the same thing. We'll give you that caring service as fast as we can. So you're not justifying the mistake, you're explaining what happened. And you know what? One of the things you can do, many practices do this, they have a $5 Tim Hortons card or Starbucks card that they give the patient for sitting there and waiting a little longer than they had planned to, just to be kind. So dealing with negative comments online is a different matter. First rule is don't print your first reaction. Write it down by hand and then tear it up and throw it out, because usually your first reaction is not a good thing. Then what you want to do is work out what you're really going to say. A negative reply, by the way, can cause further negative reviews. So don't ignore the review. That looks bad on you. So here's an example of what you could write. You could put, this is Dr. So-and-so. I'm very saddened to hear that that happened in our practice today. We work so hard to give our patients that ideal care that they deserve, and it does distress us when we don't succeed. I would love it if you could call me or email me, and I will do my very best to bring this to full satisfaction for you. Now, on note on that is take the high road always. So don't worry if you have a 4.7 average on Google reviews, by the way. This looks honest. Try to have 13 good reviews for every bad one. That's the general rule. And handle the bad reviews the way we just discussed. People will be people, and it's how to respond that makes all the difference. So that's my tip for today. If you have any questions, of course, contact us. We can always come up with a different handling if you had a different situation. So give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow what we have to say from time to time. Look forward to seeing you.